All right, hello dinos. So thank you for joining me here in the AV suite of the University of Calgary Library. I'm going to do my first journal entry on Don Quixote and Cervantes. So Cervantes is a very interesting character. Cervantes seems like somebody who's very frustrated with the way his life has turned out and the way that the modern world works. And how many people can agree with that statement? He did everything that he's supposed to do. Does that sound like anybody we know, university students? Cervantes is somebody who tries to do everything right. You know, he tries to help out his daughter. He tries to be a knight and go fight for his king and country. He tries to be a tax collector, and even though it's a hated job, he tries to do everything right. And how does that work for him? How well does that work for him? He ends up in jail wrongfully because of embezzlement accused of embezzlement for being a tax collector. He loses the use of his arm when he's a soldier. He ends up in jail again because of his daughter's wayward love affairs. This just isn't working out for him. And in this story, we have a knight who reality and modernity just really aren't working out for him. Don Quixote is an incredible character, you know. He's mad. He's mad, but he's happy. He wants to fight giants. He wants courtly manners. He wants the world that he dreams of. He wants it so badly that he's insane and delusional for it. And I think that actually is pretty accurate of a lot of people who, who are promised something, promised a certain lifestyle, and, it just doesn't end up working out that way. So what we have here is we have these two characters, Sancho and Don Quixote, who are just right next to each other, and we're dealing with modern society according to Cervantes. And what does that look like? So we have this incredibly rational guy, Sancho, and here he is. And he is cynical, and he is modern, and he is, exasperated is the easiest way to describe him throughout the whole story, On the other side, we have Don Quixote, who's romantic and heroic, and he's insane, but he's also happy. When we see him charging the field of giants, Cervantes describes him as heartily going after and ramming his ram thing into the giant. It's a great way of seeing society in reality because, he's happy. And I think what Cervantes is trying to say is that in order to be happy in this modern rational world, you have to be insane. And I'm just going to show you a quick clip of somebody who would agree with that. Insert clip, Bratton!
You. From me to you, you got to be crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Full goose bozo. Because what is reality? If you need a seat on the bus, you have to go, excuse me. Now, do it, do you? Yeah, well, messes them up. Sometimes, if they call for your taxes go, that should put them aside for a day or two. Got to be crazy. You've got to. Because madness is the only way I've stayed alive. Used to be a comedian. Used to a long time ago. It's true. There's some good memories. It's too late now for that. Can't even jumpstart the sucker. But it doesn't matter, though. I can gum you to death. I'm being grotesque, but you've got to be. You see what I mean? You got to be crazy. It's too late to be sane. Too late. You got to go full tilt, bozo. Because you're only given a little spark of madness. And if you lose that, you're nothing. Don't. From me to you. Don't ever lose that, because it keeps you alive. Because if you lose that, That's my only love. Crazy. Because there's no way any government in the world can handle madness.
Okay, so the other FCA I quickly want to cover is that, yeah, we have Don Quixote who's mad, and we have Sancho who's rational. I think the point that Cervantes is trying to make here is that there's no room in modern society for these courtly delusions. Why is Don Quixote so frustrating to Sancho, this rational guy? Because Don Quixote romanticizes the past. He romanticizes these historical notions of like courtly manners, ogres, knights, like all of these, you know, all of the poetry and all of the floweriness. You know, he looks at those and he's like, yes, I want that. I want that in today's modern society. And I think it's very similar to the things that Cervantes himself wanted. You know, he wanted to be the knight. He wanted to be the hero. He wanted to be, you know, the man of dreams. But that didn't really work out for him. And throughout the story, it doesn't really work out for Don Quixote. When you try and bring like this person forward who's fighting evil and he sees good and evil and maidens to be rescued, you know, there's no room in modern society for a man like that. There's no room in modern society for a guy who fights ogres, and there's no room in modern society for a guy who stands up for his daughter and tries to help her out, you know? It's a very, very cynical thing to perspective to come to, but I think that that's pretty much what we can expect from Cervantes. So a great quote that kind of exemplifies this joy and madness that Don Quixote has is when he says, describes Don Quixote as heartily attacking windmills while Sancho is sitting there rolling his eyes and suppressing moans, just being like, oh God, I'm gonna be out of work soon because this guy's gonna die. I don't know if this is something right or wrong with modernity. You know, I think it says something very true about reality that, you know, we're given formulas. Modernity is very much about formulas. You know, we're given do this and this will happen. You know, and I think that's true in any time period, but in modernity, you know, I think in terms of like the university student who, you know, you do this and you'll get a good job, and you do this and this will happen. You know, I think a lot of what this says is that following the formula, following what people have told you to do, doesn't make you happy. You know, you kind of need to choose your own formula. Like, much in the way that Don Quixote is mad, he also chooses his own formula and he's happy. And yeah, you need to choose your own formula, live by your own rules, and rational and reason will only get you so far. You know, it's very cynical, but if you want to get by, I recommend being rational and reasonable, but if you want to be happy, I recommend being a bit mad. And that's all we got. Later, dinos!